The next Mortal Kombat DLC has finally been revealed with 6 new playable characters and an expandable story. However, many players and fans of the series have been somewhat critical over the picks for the Kombat Pack 2. In today's video, we will break down what the Kombat Pack looks like and what characters should have been swapped out, not just for the story, but also because we haven't seen them in a while, or they are highly requested characters in the fan base. I did a wish list for the Kombat Pack 2, but this is a little bit different because this is going to be me talking about what NRS and WB should have put in their Kombat Pack 2. If you guys have any thoughts on these characters, make sure to drop a comment down below and let me know what characters you would rather have had swapped in this Kombat Pack 2. Make sure to leave a like if you guys enjoy this type of video, and if you're new, check out the channel and consider subscribing if you enjoy Mortal Kombat related content. I'm trying to grow my channel and become a full-time YouTuber, but I can't do it without your guys' support. So let's get into it. The 6 characters that NetherRealm Studios chose are Ghostface, Noob Saibot, Sector and Cyrax, Conan the Barbarian, and the T-1000. Now, most people's criticisms have been with Conan the Barbarian and the fact that Sector and Cyrax are being gender swapped for females. Now, personally, the gender swap is not the main issue for me. It is the fact that we have had plenty of other female Mortal Kombat characters that could have taken their place. I even made an entire video explaining 10 female characters, both guest and Mortal Kombat characters, that easily could have made up an entire Kombat Pack on their own, which I made because the first Kombat Pack was only male characters. I'll start off by saying this. I think that Ghostface should stay on this roster. I think Ghostface fits Mortal Kombat very well, as many other horror characters do, like we saw in Mortal Kombat X. This is a character that has easily won most of my polls that I have put on this channel for who people want to see as far as guest characters go. Ghostface has a lot of relevance right now, especially since the revival of the Scream franchise with Scream 5 and 6, which I personally really enjoyed, and the 7th one coming in the next year or so. Like I've said before, I think this character will play really smoothly and he will have some really awesome knife work. But I hope that they add some new elements like Ghostface using a shotgun in the new movies. Like many people have said before, I really hope that we get an end screen or a fatality where Ghostface reveals himself to be a different killer each time, which I think would be extremely fun. Alright, next up is Noob Saibot. Now personally, I think that Noob Saibot should also stay on this roster, as he is an extremely requested character as well, with an awesome story. However, I'm not a fan of his design with the green replacing most of the purple elements in his costume. I'm also not a fan of this weird hat thing he has on his head. It almost looks like a pirate hat, but not nearly as cool. I had the same problem with his Assassin's Creed type hood that he had in Mortal Kombat 11, and even NetherRealm Studios used an alternate costume for most of his promotional art in the mobile game. So personally, I love having Noob Saibot on the roster each time, but I would swap out his suit for something a little bit cooler that also has more purple elements in it. So at the end of the day, I love Noob Saibot, I want him in this game, but the design is just not there yet. Now let's talk about the real controversy of this Kombat Pack, which is Sector and Cyrax. Personally, I would drop both of them. We already have Sector and Cyrax as cameos, and I know those aren't full playable characters, but I think it's a little weird having both. So if we were going to add 2 female characters into the Kombat Pack, I would want it to be Scarlet and Jade. I know Jade fans were extremely upset when she wasn't in Mortal Kombat X, and she wasn't in Mortal Kombat 1 either. I've always thought that Jade, Melina, and Katana were like 3 of a kind and needed to be in each game, just like Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and Smoke, and all of the rest of the ninjas. So personally, I think we should definitely add Jade, but I don't know if we should keep her as a pure human. I really like the cybernetic stuff that Mortal Kombat does with a lot of the storylines with the Cyber Lin Kuei. But then I started thinking about Scarlet's character and how cool it would be to have a Cyber Scarlet version of her. But somebody actually let me know in one of my comments that we already got a Cyber Scarlet in Mortal Kombat 9's PlayStation Vita version of the game, which I thought was amazing. So personally, I think we should go with a regular version of Jade that everyone knows and loves and would have awesome story involving her, and then we can do something really cool with the Cyber Lin Kuei story with Cyber Scarlet. This works as a callback to the old version of the character, and I love the way that they made Scarlet in Mortal Kombat 11. Her moves were really smooth and her combos were extremely creative while also fitting the theme of her character. And I also think that Scarlet has a little bit of an edge to her that would want to enhance her abilities if it means sacrificing a little bit of her humanity. So I wouldn't do a full-on robot or a suit like the new Sector and Cyrax are like Iron Man, but personally I think we should do something like a half human, half robot cyber version of Scarlet, so she's in like an in-between phase. She has human, abilities to her, but she also has like this cybernetic, wear and tear and robot parts going throughout her body. But with Jade, we should just keep her classic Jade. Everyone loves her. We got the staff, we have the boomerang. It would just be super fun. So these are two female characters that should easily replace Cyrax and Sector. All right. Now we've come to the last two characters, which in my opinion are some of the worst DLC picks I have ever seen in any fighting game in general. Starting off with Conan the Barbarian, which I have not seen a single person request in any video I have posted or any video on TikTok I have seen. Now, since we have been lacking some female characters in the DLC like I mentioned, I think another character that happens to use a sword that is even more badass than Conan and fits the theme of the last Kombat Pack and the theme of the new Kombat Pack is Hit Girl from the Kick-Ass series. Now this fits the last Kombat Pack because this is a comic book themed character, but it also fits the new theme of the Kombat Pack 2, which I think is movie characters. Now obviously we need to age up Hit Girl just a little bit so that we can actually do fatalities and all of that fun stuff, but I really don't think that ruins anything about her character whatsoever. This is already a character that is extremely violent in their own series and has no problem killing people. The movie did a great job showing the fluidity of this character and the combat and how hilarious the voice lines we could get in this game would be. For me personally, it would definitely be cooler having Hit Girl over Conan, and it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that Hit Girl is simply cooler and is in Arnold again, who we already got in Mortal Kombat 11. Speaking of things that we already got in Mortal Kombat 11, let's talk about the T-1000. When I heard that the T-1000 was getting leaked, I was not super excited since we already got a Terminator character in the last game. Now, I understand that this is a different character that has a completely different ability set where he can basically like metal bend. He can turn himself into liquid and create different weapons out of his body, which is cool. But there's already an awesome fan idea that has been circulating around for years that would give birth to a brand new Mortal Kombat character. You guys already know who I'm talking about, and that is of course Chrome. Now, if you guys don't know who Chrome is, make sure to check out the video linked below or on screen right now where I explain Chrome's entire backstory and how this character became so popular in the Mortal Kombat fan base. Now, Chrome has actually technically appeared in Mortal Kombat X as a player card, but outside of that has never been in an official game. Now, as much as the original quote-unquote creator of Chrome sucks and the drama behind that, I think that Chrome would have been an amazing character to give the Mortal Kombat fans an original character in this game, which we don't have in Mortal Kombat 1 as of yet. Every character on this roster is a returning character or a guest character. There is no new characters such as the Collector or Chronica or anything like that in this sort of game. But just to be quick, Chrome is typically a palette swap ninja who is using the white color scheme who has similar abilities to the T-1000, who can manipulate metal and turn his body into various different metal weaponry, which is very similar to a character like Carnage or Venom that a lot of fans have been requesting as well, but is near impossible because of Disney and Marvel. So that being said, instead of T-1000, how about we introduce a brand new Mortal Kombat character being Chrome? Alright, those are my thoughts on the new Kombat Pack and the characters that they chose and who I think they should swap out to make it better. Let me know what you guys think about these picks down below in the comments, and what other characters you would like to see in Mortal Kombat, whether it's a guest character or a character who should have been in the game in the first place. I think it's kind of weird that we haven't heard anything about cameo fighters in this new DLC, so I don't think they're doing any cameo fighters. But maybe I'll make a separate video on what cameo fighters should be added to the Kombat Pack 2, if there were any. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to help support your boy. As always, have fun, be respectful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.